Good morning, everyone. Hello, everyone. Myself, Deepa Kulkarni, studying in KSS PG of Center of Studies in Education, Hubballi. I am the student of MEd third semester. So, today I am going to give you the seminar for the class B.Ed first semester, and my topic is Principle of Construction of Curriculum in Social Science, and also I am going to explain the different types of principles in the construction of curriculum in social science. So, before starting my video or before starting my seminar, I am going to show you my presentation regarding these principles. So, before starting the video, just let's have a look of the presentation. Later on, we will continue this video with the detailed information about the principles. So, let's have a look. Thank you. Good morning, sirs. Hello, students. Now, we will start our seminar with the topic of principle of construction of curriculum in the social science. Let me start. Let me show you the next slide. Okay, let us start with the concept of curriculum. So, we will start with the concept of curriculum. So, the term curriculum signified a course of studies followed by the pupils, say students, in the school, colleges, or in the teaching institution. In the English speaking tradition, it was used as equivalent to the French concept program or d'études. So today it means in general terms. So what is the concept of that? Means the contact between the society, the state, and the educational professionals, and with a regard to the educational activities that learners should undergo during the certain phase of their lives to learn something desirable. Okay. Also, standardized dictionaries definitions we'll come to that part. Means curriculum, it is defined as a course of studies of a by an educational academic institution or the schools and the colleges, whatever we can say, according to Ronald Dahl. So I will tell you the definitions. Curriculum is the formal and the informal content and process by which learners gain knowledge and understanding, develop skills and alter attitudes, appreciates and the values under the aspects of an academic institutions. In other words, also curriculum can be defined as the total experience. From this viewpoint, curriculum is not only the center selected and delivered, but also the planned and unplanned activities in which individuals participate as students. So come to the next slide, that is the meaning and the definitions. We'll just tell you the meaning and the definition. So the term curriculum has been derived from the Latin word currere, Kurrere. So we can pronounce it as currere, which means race course or a race course or a runway which runs to reach a goal that student is running through its curriculum. Accordingly, curriculum is the instructional and educative program following which the pupils or the students achieve their goals, ideals and aspirations of life. So it is curriculum through which the general aims of a school, education or the college receive concrete expression. Just in one word we can say that traditional concept, the traditional curriculum was subject centered, but contemporary or now a new modern education system is curriculum system is based on the child and the life centered. So come to the next slide, that is we already studied the meaning of the curriculum, and this is the meaning what I just now explained, the meaning of the curriculum. Then we'll come to the curriculum principles. How many principles, what all are the principles? We'll start from the principle. So here I have explained totally 12 principles of the construction of the curriculum in the social science. So in that I'm telling you the all the principles. First one is principle of child centeredness, principle of community centeredness, principle of activity centeredness, principle of integration, principle of looking forward, principle of conservative, principle of creativity, principle of motivation, principle of maturity, principle of balance and also principle of flexibility. So I am going to show you the slide regarding that what just now what I explained, the principles. Many principles are there. In this I have taken only the 12 principles. I am going to give you the brief in detail also the principles, the meaning and all. So first we will see the principle of child centered. So principle of child centered. So what do you mean by this? According to the principle, by the index only we can come to know that it is totally child centered, child related. It means curriculum should be child centered. Totally. It must be based on the needs, desires, requirements and circumstances of the child. The child needs more experience that instructions. Okay, as modern education child-centered, the curriculum should also be child-centered and it should be based on the child's needs, interests, desires, abilities, aptitudes, age level and circumstances central figure in any scheme of the curriculum construction. In fact, curriculum is meant to bring about the development of the child and in the desired direction so that he is able to adjust well in the life. So this is some detail of the principle of the child centered. So I'm going to show you the slide regarding this child centered. This image I have taken from the internet. So we'll come to the second one, that is the principle of community centeredness. So what do you mean by principle of community centeredness? Okay, principle of community centeredness. So, besides treating each child as an individual, we should also view as a member of the community. It is also, we can call it as a member of the community, okay, to which he belongs, he or she or the child, whatever we can say, the child belongs or the children belongs to. In fact, the learner is going to be an active member of community as a citizen in a future life. So it is therefore quite desirable that is his needs or child's needs or her needs and desires must harmonize with the needs and desires of the amongst whom he has to live. So in the principle of community centeredness, we have to keep these all points regarding the child is also a citizen of the community. These all points we have to keep it in mind while preparing the community constructions of the curriculum. Okay, next we'll move on to the this just one image having the showing the community centered, the principle of community centered. Okay, let's move on to the third principle, that is of activity centeredness. So now we'll learn activity, the principle of activity centeredness. Okay, action is the sign of the life of the student, sign of a life of the student, of the people, whatever we can say. Man is an active being. Okay, the man, the people, the humans, we can say. Therefore, the curriculum should be provide for a verify of activities, both physical and the mental, both the physical and mental, in which children naturally interested. Okay, then this activity or the activity must be connected with the child's desires and the needs, as well as the social and the educational requirement, as per child's or the pupils social and also educational requirements. It fulfill the social and educational requirement. It will, these all will come in the, these all points will cover the principle of activity centeredness. So I have this picture, this activity, the many children are doing an activity told by the tutor or the teacher to get the desirable outcome from the children. So let's move on to the fourth activity, sorry, fourth principle, that is the principle of integration. Principle of integration. This is the fourth principle that I have taken. So by integration we do not merely mean integration of the subjects, but what is required in the is the integration of the child's needs, the students needs, the pupils needs on the one hand, and the needs of the democratic society on the other hand. So here also we should see the desires and the needs of the student, which is fulfilled for his desire and the desire or his wishes, we can say it. Next I am just showing you this slide regarding the integration. These all points included in this principle. Let's move on to the next principle, that is the fifth principle, that is the principle of looking forward. Looking forward, by the name only we can come to know that looking forward means the plan of future plan. Seen in the future, the what the child have to assess or have to get it. So by keeping in these all points in the mind, we have to plan the curriculum, that the principle is the principle of looking forward. So I'm going to tell you about this principle of looking forward. The aim of the education is to prepare the child for an active adult life. Just now I told you in the future. Okay, in the future thinking, so we have to make them, the child, effective adult life. Therefore the curriculum should be, how the curriculum will be done according to this principle, right? So therefore the curriculum should be reflect an eyes insight into future life of the child or of the pupil. This is very much important, because in future how what they will become. So by keeping it this mind, we have to prepare them for the future. So like that only, by keeping this point, we have to prepare the curriculum according to this. So this is the slide showing this some points they have given in this slides. Forward, looking forward, the principle of looking forward. Okay, so next we will continue the next principle, that is the principle, sixth principle, that is the principle of conservative. Principle of conservative. Okay, I will tell you the information about this. What do you mean by the principle of conservative? Of course, the curriculum should be preserve and transmit, the tradition as well as the culture of the human race. Okay, traditional and the culture. It should embrace the as such subjects, topics or activities, we can say, by which the students or the pupils or the child should cultivate a sense for respect of their traditions and the culture. So these all points we should keep it in mind, and these all are comes in the principle of the conservation. Let me show you one slide, and some points are given. Conservative principles, okay, or the principle of the conservative. Next points, next and seventh point is principle of renewal. So it's very interesting. Principle of renewal. All these principles are very much important, that one by one we have to study, and it helps us to prepare the curriculum. So seventh one is as it is, I just now I said, principle of renewal. Okay, seventh principle of renewal. So while conserving and transmitting, just now we studied at the previous principle of the conservative, no? So while conserving and the transmitting the culture, the heritage or the education should be catered to renewal, should be catered to renewal of the culture to suit the requirements of changing times. So they'll grow. So this year child will be in 5th standard, then he will go into 6th standard, like that only the growing child. So changing times, we can say, the changing times, it should adjust with the changing time. So it should be transmitting and conserving the cultural heritage, and the education should cater the renewal of the culture also and the heritage also, to suit the requirements of changing or changeable times. So here just slide showing or the image, we can say, showing the conservative principle and the renewal principle, both here, because little they are connected with each other. So this is the picture showing this renewal principle and the conservative principle. So let's move on to the eighth principle of creativity. Eighth principle, that is creativity. So creativity, obviously it shows the creativeness of the student, of the child, or of the student, of the pupil. So what do you mean by that? God has created the universe, and the men, that we all are humans, have created a very variety of things in it, okay, by nature. And man is creative, you know it, man is very creative, and therefore education also should be no molded as to embel the develop one's creativity. So it promotes the creativity. It should promotes the creativity of a particular child or the particular student. It should not be there like only a single student or the two or three of the students should know, it should consider to all the students individually. So it comes under the creativity. So here in this image only we can very easily, if the teacher, the one activity is given by the student, say, given by the teacher to the student, that for the drawing purpose, mean see many of the pictures here, different types of, by using their creativity, the children by using their creativity they have created many of the posters over here. So by this we can say that it should develop the creativeness of the each and every students. So this shows the principle, eighth principle, that is the principle of the creativity. Okay, let's move to the ninth principle, that is very much important, principle of motivation. Principle of motivation. Okay, principle of motivation. Just now I have given one sentence or word like this, just do it. So by by listening to others, by seeing to others, the children or the students should motivate, the good motivation they should take from the others. So it means the curriculum should be tailored to suit the needs and the interests and the desire of the pupils. It must be goal directed. It must be very much important. It must be goal directed. Okay. It should thus motivate the pupils, the students, to actively participate in the learning process with the innate desire arising out of intrinsic motivation. So it should promote their desires and the likings to do something else by seeing or by listening to others. This is called the motivation, and it should contain the curriculum. So this is the ninth principle of motivation. So here the motivation, just you can see that by the picture you can understand the how the motivation is activated here, how the motivation word is created here by these pictures and all. See, someone is telling and the time is showing, so within the time also we have to keep it in the mind that within the time also we have to finish the work. So like this we have to go on motivating in the life, means the children go motivating in the life to do something. Next we'll come to the 10th principle, that is the principle of maturity. Day by day the child is growing, the year by year also is coming to the next standard, he moving to the next standard, promoting to the next standard, his mentality is also growing, his thinking capacity will be growing, and like that thinking capacity, listening capacity, all these skills will be growing. So the curriculum should be, how the curriculum should be, so according to the maturity, the curriculum should be suited to the mental, very important, mental and the physical maturity, or the physical equalness of the physical maturity of the student. It is should equal to their social, mentally and physical development. So it is the principle of maturity. So by seeing this image or the picture here, the curriculum should be suited to the mental and the physical development of the people. Just day by day the mentally, the physically the child grows up. So day by day we can say year by year. Okay, then let's move to the 11th principle of the construction of curriculum in social science, that is a principle of balance. So by the name only we can come to know that balance is the it should be balanced mostly in the school or in the teaching institution. Child students in the students, girl students will be there, boy students will be there. So there should be equality in the curriculum. It should balance both all types of categories of the children. So basically the curriculum must maintain a balance between the subject also, between the activities also, between the direct and indirect experiences also, and between the gender basis also, between the academic and vocational education also, between compulsory and optional subjects also, between the formal and the informal educations, and also between the individual, social, and of the aims of the, these all are the aims of the education, should balance the principle, should balance the equivalence in the amongst the students in the education institutions. So this is the 11th principle, that is the principle of balance. So here I gave the I just gave the slide showing the principle of balance, that is curriculum should maintain the proper balance. The curriculum, what the curriculum should be is preparing, it should balance between proper balance between the direct or indirect, just now I told direct or indirect subject and activities like this. So it should balance all type of activities in the educational institutions. So last one, the last principle, that is of principle of flexibility. So what do you mean by principle of flexibility? How does it work in the preparing of the curriculum, construction of curriculum in social science? So first we'll come to know that it in our age, so it means mostly in our age or in previous also, we can consider rapid developments are taking place in various fields, right? Nowadays it is a time of technology, computer science and everything. Consequently, the needs of the society are hanging. The content of the curriculum cannot be same for all the times to come. Of course, 20 years back also it was quite different. Now it is quite different, and mostly we don't know how it will be in the future, right? So time by time it will be changing. So it should not be static. So it must be dynamic and change with the changing time. It should be changed with the changing time. First and foremost, very important point, because time is goes on. 20 years back it was totally different, a little bit the change, there was a little bit only the books and the writing part was seen more, but nowadays technology works more. Don't know in future what will be the status of the future for the students. So it must be dynamic, it should not be static, it should be dynamic and change. It should have the capacity to change with the changing times, and also it should reflect that latest trends in the society or in the field of, in the education field, and also psychology. So it should maintain all this properly things to make the principle of flexibility success. So here I have the one slide showing that principle of flexibility. The time goes on changing, so with that it should adjust with the time period. Okay, now, so this is a reference again. So now I will wind up this my principle of construction of curriculum in social science. Just now we come across the, firstly we studied the concept of curriculum. Thereafter we have seen the meaning and the definitions of the curriculum, and also the various principle involved in the construction of curriculum in the development of social science subject or social science methodology. So after that we have studied in very detail all the principles involved in the curriculum and constructions of social science. Now I am winding up my video. So thank you for listening. Just I have the two more slides to show you. So I think okay, so this is the last one. So thank you everyone for watching my video. I hope you understand. So we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you everyone.